I think what the Oz campaign is hoping for, even if they don't say this publicly, is they get Fetterman on the debate stage, and he's not exactly lucid and cogent and all there, and people start to wonder what's going on with this guy.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering this week and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Westwood, and I'm here today with magazine editor David Mark. David, in Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, the Democratic candidate for Senate, his health is becoming a bigger and bigger issue. How big of one do you think it is right now?
Right, Fetterman, the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, he had a stroke some months back, right before he won the primary back over the summer, and it took him a while naturally to get back on the campaign trail. I don't think anybody begrudges that, but it's become more of an issue now that scheduled debates are coming up, and facing the Republican nominee, Dr. Fetterman-Oz, the former television personality, Fetterman's kind of demurred from going into debates, and it's really raising a lot of questions, and Fetterman is leading in the polls. It's the first time he's really been put on the defensive, and it looks like Oz may actually be able to score some political points here, although he's got to be careful considering this is somebody's life.
So Fetterman has sort of been attacking Oz as a carpetbagger from New Jersey, and therefore not able to represent Pennsylvanians effectively. Oz has been sort of leveling thematically like a similar charge at Fetterman, right? That his health would preclude him from representing Pennsylvanians effectively. The headline attacks from both sides don't really have to do the underlying issues, right? So do you think the debate will start to pivot towards policy differences, or is it still going to be sort of this mudslinging?
Well, I think what the Oz campaign is hoping for, even if they don't say this publicly, is they get Fetterman on the debate stage, and he's not exactly lucid and cogent and all there, and people start to wonder what's going on with this guy. Oz has to be particularly careful because he, of course, is a famed heart surgeon. In different circumstances, he might be the doctor for John Fetterman. And so he's got to be careful, looking like he's not picking on somebody who might very well be his patient, that sort of thing. I'd like to think he would get back to actual issues. There's so many of them to discuss in Pennsylvania and nationally, but alas, it's not how politics works much these days.
Debate dodging is not, unique to this Pennsylvania situation. There are other races in which the leading candidate is avoiding a direct confrontation on stage. One of those is Arizona, where Katie Hobbs doesn't want to debate Kari Lake. How's that race going?
Right. This is Katie Hobbs, the Democratic gubernatorial nominee, the Secretary of State, facing off against former newscaster Kari Lake, the Republican nominee. And Hobbs has really been kind of dancing around going on the debate stage with her rival. She says it's because of all the lies that Kari Lake is spewing about election reform, deniability, being an election denier, however you want to phrase it. I don't think it's a great look. I doubt she's going to be able to sustain that in the long run. Whether they're really good forums or not to change voters' minds or inform voters, it's kind of expected of candidates, and if you don't participate, that can look pretty darn bad.
And finally, there were some concerns that Kari Lake, the Republican gubernatorial nominee in Arizona, was maybe a little bit too far right for what is essentially a swing or maybe even blue state. Do you think that those fears are coming to fruition?
I think this is a case where it's going to ride a lot on the national sentiment. If Republicans end up having a good night on November 8th, as has been expected for much of the cycle, Kari Lake has a decent chance of becoming the next governor of Arizona. If Democrats are making a comeback, which seems to be happening right now, Katie Hobbs could be there. So I think it's really much a toss-up right now.
Well, David, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You can get more writing from David and the rest of the political team at washingtonexaminer.com.